Have you ever found yourself relentlessly chasing, that elusive sense of peace, always believing it's just beyond your grasp, maybe in the next achievement or the perfect relationship or some far-off destination?
Oh, absolutely. Or maybe feeling truly lost, even when you seem to have everything you thought you wanted, but there's still that lingering sense of disconnection.
Exactly. Welcome back, everyone, to A Course in Miracles in Practice. It's genuinely great to have you with us for episode 226.
It really is.
Today's lesson, well, it offers a pretty radical redefinition of home, one that cuts through all those external pursuits. It invites us to a peace that's always available if we just shift our gaze.
That's such a perfect way to frame it, this one.
Yeah,
this one brought up some very vivid memories for me, actually. And it truly became a pivotal moment in helping me see those old experiences with a completely new lens. Lesson 226 isn't just an intellectual exercise, is it? It asks us to bravely let go of all the deeply ingrained reasons we might unknowingly stay stuck, maybe in fear or resentment or frustration. And to remember, with this unshakable certainty, that peace is always waiting for us, always accessible, always within our reach.
We're excited to share some honest reflections on this powerful lesson today. And as always, we're really eager to hear your stories and insights too. If you have questions or experiences you'd like to share related to this lesson or anything else we talk about, or even if you just want to say hello, please do reach out to us. It's ACIM at theworldharmonyproject.org.
Yeah, we genuinely love hearing from you. We value your input and your willingness to share this journey with us. It makes such a difference. So, as is our cherished tradition with the Course here, we always start each exploration by reading the lesson aloud. It just allows its wisdom to settle in before we begin our discussion.
Okay, the title for today is Lesson 226, My Home Awaits Me. I will hasten there.
If I so choose, I can depart this world entirely. It is not death which makes this possible, but it is change of mind about the purpose of the world. If I believe it has a value as I see it now, so will it still remain for me.
But if I see no value in the world as I behold it, nothing that I want to keep as mine or search for as a goal, it will depart from me. For I have not sought for illusions to replace the truth.
Father, my home awaits my glad return. Your arms are open and I hear your voice. What need have I to linger in a place of vain desires and of shattered dreams when heaven can so easily be mine?
Wow. This lesson undeniably holds some truly expansive ideas that stood out to us. It certainly invited a lot of deep inner contemplation for me.
Me too.
One of the very first things that fundamentally strikes me in this lesson is how it completely redefines what we typically understand as home.
Right, it's not bricks and mortar.
No. And the Course has used the metaphor of home many times before, hasn't it? And here, it's powerfully reinforced as something entirely internal. It's a state of mind, a place of profound and unshakable peace, and an unwavering, intimate connection with God, our loving source.
Our creator.
For so many of us, the natural human tendency is to constantly chase after some idealized external home or, a seemingly perfect life situation.
That greener grass somewhere else.
Exactly. We often carry this deep-seated, though maybe unconscious belief that if we just find that specific house or secure that stable job or finally enter into that perfect relationship, then we'll finally feel truly safe, truly fulfilled, completely at peace.
At last, yeah.
But this lesson gently but firmly invites us to consider that our true home is actually and always has been within us. It's an inherent part of our being, just waiting to be rediscovered. It is a profound, almost revolutionary shift in our fundamental perspective. It means we are always truly at home if our minds are aligned with peace, regardless of any external chaos or noise or challenges happening around us.
Which is huge.
It is huge because it means peace isn't conditional. It's not something we earn or something we have to wait for or something that can be taken away by circumstance.
It simply is, when we choose it.
Right, when we choose to recognize it and allow ourselves to experience it. For instance, in my own life, with a demanding job, I often find myself in situations that could easily become overwhelming.
I can imagine.
Tight deadlines, unexpected projects, you know the drill. In those moments when the external demands feel relentless and the internal to-do list seems infinite, I've learned to pause, even for just a minute or two.
Just a moment.
Yeah. I might step away or just take a conscious deep breath, consciously shift my focus inward. Instead of getting completely caught up in the mental chatter or the pressures, I make a deliberate choice to remember that deep well of peace inside.
That inner refuge.
Exactly. It's not about making the demands disappear, but about finding that quiet, centered space inside where that true security and belonging resides. That's my real home. Always available, always accessible, no matter how busy or loud the outer world gets.
That's such a practical application of it.
And that internal shift, that change in what home truly means, well, it connects seamlessly to the next powerful idea in the lesson, changing one's mind about the purpose of the world itself.
Yes, and that leads us directly into what it truly means to depart this world, which can sound alarming at first glance, maybe.
It can, yeah.
But the lesson is very clear. It clarifies that it's explicitly not about physical death, which is, I think, a common misinterpretation. It's rather a fundamental change of mind. And this shift isn't about escaping reality. It's about transforming our perception of it. Mm-hmm. It's like a profound recalibration of our internal compass.
Okay.
Where we question the very purpose we've assigned to this world and the value we believe it holds.
So let's unpack this change of mind a bit more then, because it's such a cornerstone of the course. It means shifting our perception of the world's fundamental purpose and the value we assign to it.
Mm-hmm.
When the course talks about the ego, it's referring to that part of our mind that believes in separation, individuality, and fear. It's the part that kind of constructed this world of illusions and then convinces us it's real and important.
Right. The great trickster.
So our belief in the world's current perceived value, the meaning we've given it based on our ego's understanding, which is steeped in scarcity, conflict, and loss, that belief is precisely what determines its persistence for us.
It holds it in place.
Exactly. If we continue to believe it holds ultimate value as we currently see it, with all its struggles and superficial attractions, then it will indeed remain for us, solid, unyielding, seemingly inescapable, like we're actively pinning it down with our belief.
That's exactly right. And this is where the power of our perception truly comes into play, isn't it? When we consciously choose to stop giving the world meaning according to our ego's perception, when we stop imbuing its fleeting forms and dramas with ultimate reality, that's when it just begins to sort of fall away for us. Our perceived problems, our long-held grievances, our deeply ingrained fears, they begin to lose their perceived reality. They lose their grip because we are actively withdrawing our psychic and emotional investment in them.
But how do we practically do that? I mean, it sounds good, withdraw your investment, but when the fear feels overwhelming or the grievance feels so completely justified, what tools from the course actually help us retract that investment?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Well, the course guides us toward radical forgiveness. But not forgiveness like, oh, it's okay they did that.
Right, not condoning.
No, it's recognizing that what you perceive as an attack or injustice is actually a call for love. A mistaken attempt by someone else, caught in their own fear, to find peace.
A call for love.
Yes. So when you choose to see your brother or sister or the situation through the lens of the Holy Spirit, that voice for God in our minds, the part that remembers our shared innocence, you begin to withdraw your belief in the reality of the attack itself.
So you shift the purpose of the situation.
Precisely. Instead of seeing the world as a place to get something for the ego or a battlefield, you ask, what is the Holy Spirit's purpose for this? That simple question helps you disengage from the ego's story.
And reinvest your energy in peace, understanding, and love.
Yes. It's an active, ongoing process, turning your perceptions over again and again to that higher perspective.
Yes, and that connects so deeply to how the lesson points out that the world only holds value as long as we assign it. It's an incredibly powerful concept when you truly grasp it.
It really is liberating.
Think about how often we get so completely caught up in chasing external goals or accumulating possessions or even defining ourselves entirely by specific relationships. All the time.
All because of this mistaken underlying belief that these external things are absolutely essential to our happiness, our identity, our security.
Yeah. But that very belief, that active pursuit of external validation, is precisely what keeps us tied to what the Course calls illusions. Anything we perceive as real that isn't rooted in divine truth, eternal love, our shared wholeness.
And these illusions, by their very nature, can never truly satisfy us or bring lasting peace.
Never. These are the vain desires and of shattered dreams the lesson mentions so poignantly. They're vain because they lead to emptiness, and shattered because they're inherently transient, incapable of delivering the true joy we seek. Okay. The challenge then, and it is a significant one, even for people who've studied the Course for years,
Oh, definitely.
is in the act of letting go of these illusions. Even when we logically understand they don't serve us, Releasing them can feel incredibly uncomfortable, maybe even deeply unfamiliar.
Because our ego has built our whole perceived identity around them.
Right. It's like saying goodbye to a security blanket we've clung to for years, maybe decades. That blanket once provided immense, maybe even false comfort. It felt familiar, predictable, a source of identity, a perceived source of safety in a world that often felt unsafe.
But in clinging to it, even when it's tattered and doesn't really work anymore, we're unknowingly holding ourselves back, limiting our vision, preventing ourselves from seeing the deeper truth beyond its flimsy weave.
The freedom gained by truly letting go far outweighs the fleeting comfort it once provided.
It's amazing, though, isn't it, how comforting even a false sense of security can be, even when we kind of know better.
It's a powerful testament to the ego's ability to make the familiar feel safe, even when it's keeping us in chains.
Yeah. And then right alongside that challenge, there's the beautiful, constant reminder that no matter how far we might feel from peace, or how long we've been stuck in pain or disappointment, or how many wrong turns we feel we've taken.
God's arms are always open.
Always. It's such a profound statement of unconditional love.
It means there's no judgment, no prerequisite, no period of earning our way back. The call to come home never stops, never fades.
It's an enduring, unconditional invitation.
That enduring and incredibly loving invitation then leads to one of the hardest questions, I think, in the lesson, especially for those of us who felt deeply hurt or lost for what feels like a lifetime. What need have I to linger in a place of vain desires and of shattered dreams when heaven can so easily be mine?
And when the Course talks about heaven,
it's an experience of perfect peace, wholeness, unity, available right here.
In this very moment.
Right.
Through that change of mind.
Exactly. So the question really makes you pause and ask yourself, why do I keep holding on to this fear or this unfulfilling desire or this bitter resentment when true peace is right here, waiting, immediately available?
It's a profound challenge to our perceived comfort in the familiar. It forces you to confront what you might be subtly, gaining by staying stuck. What perceived payoff the ego convinces you is there in your suffering.
And what's fascinating here is the lesson says, your arms are open and I hear your voice. For many, hearing God's voice can sound intimidating or abstract or maybe even exclusive. What does that voice or open arms truly feel like in our practical human experience? Beyond an audible sound, is it a feeling, a knowing?
That's an excellent question. It really speaks to how we experience the divine within the Course's framework. When the Course talks about hearing the Father's voice, it's generally not referring to an audible sound, like you said, though some might experience that.
Right.
More often, for most practitioners, it's a quiet inner knowing, a profound sense of peace that just descends in moments of clarity, a gentle, loving thought that arises, seemingly from nowhere, offering a new perspective.
Like an intuition.
Yes, exactly. It's the intuitive nudge that guides us away from conflict, towards compassion. It's that profound shift in feeling that replaces anxiety with calm or anger with understanding, that unshakable sense that all is well despite appearances. It might feel like being guided, protected, loved, even when you feel physically alone. And the open arms, they symbolize that absolute, non-judgmental acceptance and welcome that's always extended to us. That feeling of safety and belonging that transcends any earthly condition.
Okay, so when the lesson invites us to hasten there, it's not about frantic effort or rushing.
No, not at all. It's about a willingness, a readiness to shift our internal focus and accept this ever-present invitation. It's recognizing that this peace isn't some distant reward we have to strive for. It's our natural state, just obscured by our own choices to believe in the ego's illusions.
So the urgency is tempered with grace.
Exactly. Reminding us that the choice to return home is always ours, and the door is never closed. It's a loving encouragement. Choose peace now, rather than postponing your own happiness.
That's such a clarifying explanation. Thank you. So, thinking about this idea of leaving the world by changing your mind about it, wow, it really took me back very vividly to my teenage years. My teenage years were, for a long time, defined by a lot of pain and just this pervasive sense of being an outsider. I was bullied relentlessly. I mean, literally people throwing food at me in the cafeteria.
Wow.
Kids yelling cruel things from car windows as I walked home. Groups of boys verbally abusing me on the street. It made me feel utterly unsafe, constantly on edge.
That sounds incredibly difficult.
And it wasn't just my peers. There were teachers who basically wrote me off, didn't expect much from me, which sadly just reinforced this deep sense of unworthiness, of being unseen.
The adult world's failing you too.
Yeah. At the time, my reactions were just this chaotic mix of intense anger, paralyzing fear, bitter resentment. And it wasn't just directed at those kids. It was at the adults who didn't step in, who seemed to turn a blind eye. And honestly, it was at myself too, for feeling so different, so vulnerable, so unable to escape it.
That internal battle.
Oh, I spent so much energy, so much precious mental and emotional bandwidth trying to prove I wasn't what they thought I was, trying to force their perception of me to change. It felt like I was constantly battling their perception instead of just being me and finding peace in that. It just consumed me.
That sounds exhausting.
It was. But if I had had the tools from the course back then, if I had understood this fundamental concept of changing my mind about the world's purpose and value, I genuinely imagine things would have played out really, really differently.
How so?
Well, instead of reacting from that place of overwhelming fear or bitterness, I could have seen those people. Not as personal attackers with the power to diminish me, but as stuck in their own pain and ignorance.
Seeing their actions as calls for love, like we discussed.
Exactly. The course would have taught me their attacks stemmed from their own unhealed egoic wounds. I might have even felt some compassion for them, understanding their cruelty came from their own suffering, instead of letting their actions define me. That would have been the crucial shift.
Right, detaching your worth from their behavior.
And rather than getting caught up in constantly defending or proving myself in that exhausting external battle, I could focus my energy inward. I could have found what I truly loved, activities, interests that genuinely nourished me, built me up, instead of tearing me down trying to fit in.
Feeding your soul instead of fighting shadows.
It's like I was trapped in that victim mindset, constantly bracing myself, scared of what might happen, anticipating attacks everywhere. That profound shift in seeing the world, not as a place of relentless attacks, but as something less real, less threatening, a projection of a mistaken mind. That would have been an absolute game changer.
Wow.
It would have meant I could have started going home sooner, in a way, connecting to that inner peace and knowing my true value much earlier in life.
Thank you for sharing that so openly. It really brings the lesson alive in such a powerful, relatable way. I can feel how raw and painful those memories must have been, and how much courage it takes to look at them that way now, with that new lens. It's unfortunately so common for young people to feel that isolation you described, to think they're alone in facing cruelty, or to mistakenly believe their self-worth is determined by how others treat them.
When I think about kids, it instantly reminds me how absolutely vital it is to help them develop those same course tools and perspectives early on.
Oh, yes, absolutely. It's foundational, giving them that internal compass.
To help them see fundamentally that the world around them, with all its fleeting judgments, its often unfounded fears, its temporary dramas, it doesn't have to define who they are or what their inherent worth is.
It doesn't have the power unless they give it power.
Exactly. It doesn't have to determine their identity or steal their inner peace. That peace, that sense of being at home, is always within them.
That's a beautiful vision. But I can imagine for many parents, teaching non-judgment when their child is hurting feels almost counterintuitive to protecting them. Is there a line there where protecting their peace could be misinterpreted as enabling them to avoid necessary confrontation or not addressing real external threats? How do you balance teaching such a profound spiritual concept with the very real need for them to navigate a world that sometimes does present challenges?
That's a really insightful question. The key isn't about ignoring external challenges or avoiding confrontation when safety is genuinely at stake. Instead, it's about where the reaction originates within them. Try to teach them that sometimes people lash out or say unkind things or act from their own pain or confusion. And that doesn't have to become our pain. It doesn't have to enter our space and disrupt our peace.
Right. Not taking it personally.
Helping them recognize that fear or anger in others isn't really about them. It's a reflection of the other person's inner state, often their own unhealed egoic pain. That's such a pivotal step. Discuss how they can respond, yes, whether it's standing up for themselves appropriately or seeking help from a trusted adult. But the core lesson is about protecting their inner peace.
Okay.
It's about remembering consistently that their true home, their inherent value and perfect safety isn't tied to how others treat them or what labels others might try to put on them. It's guiding them to discern between external action and internal reaction.
So if a friend is unkind,
We talk about that friend's possible underlying pain rather than making it a personal attack. Emphasize that his worth is divinely given. It can't be diminished by anyone else's behavior. It's a constant, gentle redirection from external validation to internal knowing.
That's an incredibly practical approach. So, when we talk about changing our mind about the world and how it impacts our experience, we're really not keeping this as some abstract theoretical concept just for books or retreats.
Not at all.
It's something incredibly real and deeply practical that can transform how young people, and really all of us at any age, experience life, especially when things feel rough or unfair.
And this idea that there's no reason to linger in a place of broken dreams or delay coming home, I completely understand how that can sound almost impossible for many people. If someone has been holding on to deep-seated fear or bitter resentment or guilt for decades, it's not like you can just flip a switch and instantly let it all go.
No, definitely not.
That emotional and mental buildup feels incredibly heavy. It weighs on you. It shapes every single aspect of how you see yourself, others, the entire world. Every new experience gets filtered through that existing pain, reinforcing old patterns.
Absolutely. And it's so important to clarify that the lesson isn't saying just snap out of it, drop everything, and be at peace right now.
Right. That would be counterproductive.
Yeah, because that kind of overwhelming pressure can actually make you shut down even further. It reinforces the very resistance we're trying to release. It's more about recognizing that the invitation to peace is patiently waiting, even if you can't answer it fully or completely yet.
Like the first step might just be a subtle shift, almost imperceptible at first, simply noticing that you don't want to stay stuck anymore.
That flicker of willingness.
Yes. And from there, the change truly happens gradually, sometimes in fits and starts, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But it is always moving towards peace if the willingness is there.
And there's absolutely no need to rush the process or to beat yourself up for wherever you're currently at. The Course is incredibly gentle.
That phrase, no reason to delay, is a promise that change is indeed possible, and it's available whenever you're truly ready to accept that loving invitation. It's the ultimate expression of grace. It's so incredibly easy to beat ourselves up for feeling stuck in patterns we desperately want to escape. But the Course teaches us so clearly that judgment, and that includes self-judgment, is just another insidious way of keeping ourselves locked in the very same patterns and illusions.
It fuels the fire.
It does. That's precisely why compassion toward ourselves is so fundamentally crucial on this journey. The Course isn't about demanding perfection overnight or offering quick fixes for deep-seated patterns. Instead, it's about cultivating a gentle awareness, a profound willingness to see ourselves with kindness, even when the old wounds feel raw and the progress seems excruciatingly slow. It's about recognizing we are learning, and learning takes time, patience, self-forgiveness. The Course encourages us to bring our perceived failings, our fears, our judgments to the Holy Spirit, allowing that loving guidance to gently undo the ego's programming. We learn to look at our inner struggles without judgment, knowing only love can truly heal. Real, lasting change often starts with that simple, brave act of accepting exactly where we are right now, no matter how stuck or slow the process feels. Well, we certainly had an expansive and pretty eye-opening exploration today, didn't we?
We truly did. It's always so enlightening to delve into these profound lessons. There's always more to see.
We saw that Lesson 226 invites us to recognize that the peace and home we long for isn't somewhere outside of us. It's a profound shift in perception, a fundamental change of mind about the value we give to the world around us.
It's an internal realignment, isn't it? A journey inward to rediscover what was never truly lost, just overlooked.
And we explored how old wounds and deeply ingrained resentments, like the kind that come from painful experiences or long-held fears, can feel like they keep us perpetually stuck, anchoring us to a past that no longer serves us.
But the lesson so gently, yet powerfully, encourages us to see that there's truly no reason to delay leaving that place of pain and illusion behind. The door to freedom is always open. We just need to choose to walk through it.
That means extending compassion not only outward to others who may be struggling, but incredibly importantly, inward to ourselves, letting go of harsh self-judgment when we find ourselves still caught in those old patterns.
And gently opening the door to the peace that's always waiting for us right within our own minds, readily accessible.
So at its heart, Lesson 226 calls us back to our true home by encouraging us to stop investing value in illusions that keep us trapped and suffering.
Thanks so much for being with us for this exploration today. Take care, and we'll see you next time.